Hey, this is Miss M, and today we are using place value to round. This is part 2, and this is NBT 1. In today's video, we are rounding whole numbers to the nearest 10 and 100. So we're going to use this little poem. You're going to find your number, look right next door, 4 or less, just ignore, 5 or more, raise the score. So to begin, we're rounding to the nearest 10, and we have 83,223. So if we use our little poem, the first thing we're going to do is find your number. So our number in the tens place is the 2. Then we're going to look right next door, which is the ones place, which is the 3. Now we're going to use the little jingle. So 4 or less, we're just going to ignore it. So we're looking at that 3 and we're saying it is 4 or less, which means we have finished our rounding problem. So the new rounded number is 83,220. And that's because everything after the rounding number goes to 0. Let's try another one. So we're rounding to the nearest 100. So we have 83,253. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find your number. We're rounding to the nearest 100. So our number is number 200. Now we're going to look right next door, which is the tens place, which means it is the 5. Now we're going to use the little jingle part, and we're going to say 4 or less, just ignore. So if we look at the tens, we know that it is a 5, which means it is not 4 or less. So we're going to go to the next line. 5 or more, raise the score. Now because it is a 5, we now know that we have to raise that hundreds place by 1. So the new rounded number is 83,300. Because everything after the rounding number goes to 0. So now let's practice rounding to the nearest 10 and nearest 100. You can pause the video and try it on your own if you like. So the first one is rounding to the nearest 10. So I'm going to first find my number, and my number is in the tens place, which is the 1. So I'm going to underline it. I'm then going to look next door, which is in the ones place, which is my 7. And now I'm going to use my little jingle. So 4 or less, just ignore. And I see that 7 is more than 4, so I'm going to go to my next line. 5 or more, raise the score. So I now know that I get to raise my 1 to a 2 because I raised it by 1. So my new number is 3,920 because everything after the rounding number goes to 0. Let's do the next one. Rounding to the nearest 10, let me find my number, which is the 2. Find the number next door, which is the 6. 4 or less, just ignore, and my 6 is more than 4. So 5 or more, raise the score, which means my 2 gets raised by 1, and it is now a 3. So my new number is 230. Let's try the next one. 79,802. So let me find my 10. So my 10 is a 0. Let me find the number next door, which is my 2. From there, I'm going to say 4 or less, just ignore. Now since my ones place is a 2, it is less than 4. So I'm done with my numbers. My new number is 79,800. Great job. Let's go to the next one. So round to the nearest 100. So we have 27,512. Well, if I find my hundreds place, it is a 5. If I go to the number next door, it is my tens place. So now my jingle, 4 or less, just ignore. Since my tens place is a 1, and a 1 is less than 4, I am done with rounding my number. So I'm going to say my new number is 27,500. Let's go to the next one. 66,634. My hundreds place is the 6. My tens place next door is a 3. So 4 or less, just ignore. Well, since my tens place is a 3, and 3 is less than 4, I just ignore. I cannot raise the score. So my new number is 66,000. 600. And let's go to the last one, 58,526. So my hundreds place is a 5. My tens place is a 2. So I have 4 or less, just ignore it. Now since my 2 in my tens place is less than 4, I get to ignore it again. So my new number is 58,500. I hope you did amazing at that. I'm sure you did. Good job. Well done. And remember, don't give up until you are proud. So I hope you have discovered and learned. And if these videos have helped you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Peace and love.